how can you improve your testosterone naturally? I don't need to improve my testosterone, I don't think, but a lot of males do ask me this question.
Actually, you'll be surprised. A lot of female nowadays are being given testosterone in addition to other hormones because the thought processes now has changed in that the optimum level of male hormone in the female actually can enhance your ability.
Yeah, wow. And so we're going to talk about why testosterone kind of decreases and how you can help it. So I'm Dr. Carrie Lam, this is Dr. Michael Lam.
Yeah.
So why does testosterone kind of go down with age in men, female, both?
Well, first of all, it's part of the natural progression. Testosterone hits the peak, around 30 years old, and then after that, it has a gradual decline by natural progression. Of course, there are, that is natural happening anyway, you see what I'm saying? But in the case of adrenal fatigue, there are external factors because the body is stressed. And in that particular case, the body, instead of making more testosterone, the hormone precursors such as pregnenolone are shunted to make cortisol. Mm-hmm. So when you have less substrate as a precursor, then you're going to have less testosterone output as a result in the case of adrenal fatigue.
So your adrenals can either make aldosterone, which is it's a mineral caloric to help your salt balance, or it can make cortisol, or it can make sex hormones. So what you're saying is instead of making sex hormones when your body's stressed, it tries to make more cortisol instead.
Well, because the body doesn't perceive reproduction is high priority when it is under stress. You're trying to survive, so automatically the libido gets shut off, as well as the testosterone. It's not only testosterone, other type of non-essential reproductive hormones also take a back seat. Mm-hmm. And that's why sometimes women can get actually missed cycles with their body under stress. So even if you run a long marathon, for example, for a woman's body, if they're not ready, they can have skip periods. It's not unusual. Mm-hmm.
So you already talked about like low libido being a sign of low testosterone. What are other signs that people might have when their testosterone is low?
Well, I think the loss of muscle mass, is very important. Mm-hmm. Loss of strength if you're able to do heavy lifting before, dumbbells before. And this applies to male as well as female. Both is not sex specific, but when the testosterone level goes down, your anabolic process will go down, and that is why you will feel weaker.
So not only does age kind of decrease your testosterone, but even being overweight, having excess fat that produces estrogen, can actually make your testosterone lower.
Correct. Your diet can also make a difference.
Your diet, excess sugar leads to insulin resistance, and that's why also that you would have less of a testosterone effect in your body because of the excess sugar. Okay, so what can help people naturally if they want to increase their testosterone?
Well, you can start with number one is reducing stress. I think that's quite obvious. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes, giving a body the proper rest will redirect the adrenal pathways so that you reduce the need for make cortisol. Because there's less stress, that means less anti-stress hormone required. And so the pregnenolone, which is the grandmother of all the anabolic hormones, will then shunt automatically towards making more testosterone. And this is an automatic process. You don't have to kind of work around it. It's automatic on its own. Mm-hmm.
So that's one way you could do it. Also, you said rest, meaning getting more sleep is very important. How about exercise?
Well, exercise is one of the very easily misunderstood part of the testosterone pathway. Perhaps the easiest way to increase testosterone, and not only testosterone, in fact, growth hormone, they kind of go hand in hand, is to do to exercise of big muscle groups, or like pull-ups. You use the traps, as well as the push-ups. These are big muscles. It's not talking about the finger muscles or the wrist muscles. These are very small. But when you do push-ups, the body automatically will activate the anabolic process. So your testosterone, especially growth hormone, tend to rise. You see?
Anabolic meaning muscle building, or so your testosterone can increase, your growth hormone can also increase. There are also certain foods that can increase your testosterone. Foods that are high in magnesium and high in zinc. So definitely look those up if you want to also increase your testosterone naturally.
Yeah, I think one of the dangers with hormone support, natural or otherwise, is that you don't want to be in the anabolic mode when your body is not ready. So a weak body, it needs to be nurtured, and the body has its own intrinsic healing system, which we try to support with nutrition. If you externally try to kind of jumpstart, the concept sounds good, but oftentimes you can have backfiring involved, because if your body is weak and you try to push start the system too much with anabolic hormones, then you can actually crash the body, and that's why a lot of people don't do well. And they may start feeling a little bit better, and then over time they become wide, tired, and they crash, or they need more. And once you are in that kind of a cycle, it's very hard to reverse. So the key is to understand that there are many ways to help your body regenerate its own hormone, support its own hormone balancing, and the body has its own way to do it. You don't have to be aware. Don't try to force it. And make sure that all the foundational pieces, is well taken care of. The adrenals is well taken care of. Your stress reduction is better. Your diet is good.
Right.
And then the body will flow. And if that flow is insufficient, then you can come in and kind of give extra
exogenous testosterone
hormones.
Right, so these are reasons why you might have low testosterone and what you can naturally do to help them by supporting your whole body and living a full of exercise and nutritional life. So we are here to try to empower you on your health journey.